We are just too pretty for God to let us die.
We are the Electric Fancave on electricfeast.com, and it's episode 36, fangirls and fanboys. It's a bad week to be cool-rophobic, and we're going to tell you why. But first, we have a sit-down about the New York Comic-Con revelation of a Guardians of the Galaxy cartoon. We try to make sense of the resurgence of Haley Joel Osment. We discuss the series premiere of the CW's The Flash, and we wonder why the heck everyone hates Gotham. Friend of the Fancave, John Vanderhoef, will be by in a bit to talk about Ghostbusters, dream casting, and some Marvel news. And finally, the moment of truth. We're putting Kristin under the sorting hat to find out in which Hogwarts house she belongs.
Oh my gosh.
A little nervous there, Kristin?
I'm super nervous about it. I can't even.
Kristin is, for some reason, really troubled that she might end up in Slytherin.
I am. And I don't know.
I don't know
apparently
why that
I'm
is.
in touch with my evil side. I think I'm going to be a villain. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm wondering now if we take this, if you're going to get Slytherin and I'm just going to find out that you're secretly, really sinister.
A murderer. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not. If you're listening, government.
We'll see. What if the government profiled Slytherins?
Oh my gosh, I bet they do.
Right? Like the NSA
what
totally
if the
watches
FBI had a
Slytherin.
list and all their bad guys were in Slytherin.
Yeah, it would be like Slytherin or like Ravenclaw, because Ravenclaw's a little tricky too. So I can...
Yeah,
I
all
can
the
see
criminal
those...
masterminds, or maybe they just sort all of their criminals into houses.
Yeah. Oh, totally. I mean, there probably wouldn't be a lot of Hufflepuff criminals.
Honestly, I can't even remember. And also, what if I get Hufflepuff? I'm kind of worried about that too.
You know what? I always thought that I would get Hufflepuff. I was like, I'm kind of lame. I would totally be Hufflepuff. I'm loyal and gregarious, stuff like that. But I don't really I'm not cunning. I'm not super bold or whatever. But then I took it. I went on Pottermore. I took that test and I got Gryffindor, of all things.
Oh my gosh.
I've been drinking out of the wrong coffee mug for months now.
What's your coffee mug say?
It says Hufflepuff.
Oh, it says Hufflepuff.
Yeah,
oh.
I drink out of it on
No,
the show all the time.
I mean, part of me's like, I don't know, man. I mean, if Neville Longbottom could get a decent one, I'm pretty sure I can get a decent one. I would aim for Ravenclaw. It would be obviously everyone wants to be in Gryffindor.
Yeah.
But I would think I would be cool with Ravenclaw, and then obviously Hufflepuff, and then Slytherin. I'm like, F it, I quit life.
Yeah. But some people are really proud of being Slytherin.
I don't understand those people.
No, I don't.
I'm not. Those movies or that TV show people are all into Dexter and he's like a bad guy but he's a good guy or whatever their weird thing is with him. It's I don't even like that kind of stuff. I am a straight-laced, I know you don't like Captain America because he's too good, but I'm that's why I love Captain, you know what I mean? So it's
I don't think you're going to get Slytherin.
Soul crushing. It'd be soul crushing if I did because I feel like I don't know, maybe I should do some soul searching and we'll see. I'm jumping ahead of myself.
We're jumping ahead, but that'll be towards the end. We also had a request to play another Netflix roulette, so I don't know if we're gonna.
Yeah, no, I know about that. I don't know if I'm ready for that.
We may not be ready, but we'll see how we feel towards the end of the show. Okay. Maybe next week. I don't know.
We'll see how distraught I am after finding out what house I get sorted into.
If she gets Hufflepuff, she might be up for some Netflix roulette.
Oh man.
Oh, I forgot. I have to make kind of a correction from last week. I sort of misspoke. It was pointed out that it sounded like I said that Stephen Collins' therapist had recorded and leaked the therapy sessions. And I listened back to it, and it's true. I kept saying she instead of actually saying his wife. And so if anyone was confused and thought that I was advocating, breaching patient-client, or not what I meant, client...
Patient...
what am I trying to say?
Doctor, patient, doctor privilege.
Patient. Golly.
Wow.
You guys, I had to teach at 8 a.m. today.
We can't even use the Monday excuse for our shenanigans.
No, I full on... Okay, I had to teach at 8 a.m., which I've not had an 8 a.m. class in literally a decade, since my freshman year of college. I don't do, my brain is not turned on at that hour, because I can't sleep early, My brain also doesn't fall asleep. So... I get up and my first class is kind of a disaster, but that's more just the situation. And then the second and third classes are fine, but at the end of the third class, I tell the students, enjoy your Monday. It took a second until one of them was like, yeah, it's Tuesday. I was like,
it's not Monday. And you're like,
well, you know,
like,
live
good-
like it's Monday.
You're like, good job, you caught it.
Yeah.
That was
Just
that
keeping
was
you
a
on your
test.
toes,
That
guys.
was a test.
Yeah, so it feels like a Monday, even though it is not. I'm hoping, though, that over the course of the quarter, I will get used to this. Now I have my alarm set early every day, because it can't just be one day a week that you wake up early. So now it's just like 6 a.m. across the board.
Perfect. That sounds like a good plan.
But do you ever, I mean, you're kind of an early riser in general.
I am. Yeah.
Because the thing for me is that no matter what, if I have something in the morning, I always feel rushed. I don't ever feel like there's enough time in the morning. So
There's never any time.
Yeah, I
won't get into Stanford. I'm going to let everyone down. I'm so excited.
That's me in the morning.
Anyway.
It's like, it doesn't matter if like a class is at 8, 9, or 10. I feel exactly the same amount rushed in the morning. Like if I get up at 6 and it's any of those things, I still feel like I'm like, no, I can't do it. I shouldn't shower. I should have showered last night. What was I thinking? I should have made my lunch before. Like, is there a timer for the coffee? Like, mornings.
My friend Katie is not a morning person. I think is actually an understatement. We need a different word for what she is.
Right.
So she is an event planner. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So every once in a while, there's an event that takes place in the morning.
Yeah.
So she had this event, and I actually think it was here, or anyway, but she had to be at the event at 8. And she just thought that's such an ungodly hour, so she just didn't go to sleep. Like,
that's something I do if like I have a flight at 3 or 4 in the morning.
Right? Exactly. But 8 a.m. And she's explaining this to me, and I'm just staring at her, and I'm like, I don't comprehend what you're telling me right now. Could we start over? Because I feel like I'm not.
That's a really
so
terrible
because
idea.
you had to be somewhere at 8, you just never went to sleep. She's like, I'll just go to sleep later. I'm like, who are you? Like, what kind of logic?
Because at that point you end up like having been awake for like a solid 2 days.
Well, no, because I mean she doesn't wake. The day before she didn't wake up till noon.
I guess, but then she had to go through that entire day.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know why I tried to justify her. I have no idea what was happening.
I made that mistake once, like going to like fly on a plane to Northern Ireland and decide to stay up all night the night before, and I just ended up literally being awake for almost 3 days straight instead of actually being like, oh, I'll sleep on the plane, everything will be great. No, it's a bad idea. I just, you got to do what you got to do.
I know. I just go to bed early, obviously.
Well, yeah, you're very good at that.
I went to bed at 9 the other day. It was awesome.
I'm so jealous. I wish that I could do that, but it doesn't happen. Anyway, all that tangented off of the Stephen Collins thing. It was his wife who recorded it.
Who is not his therapist.
Who is not his therapist.
They're two different people.
Yes.
His therapist could be a man. Actually, we don't know.
No, I think she is a woman because I think she's on the recording.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind.
Yeah, so it's not a dude. That's why I confused everybody. So my apologies. And I just also, just one other thing that's been going on. This weekend, I got really like, maybe it's because I was procrastinating on stuff, but I got really into Snapchat this week.
Ugh, gross. Why?
Because it started, I think I was talking to Cameron Lewis, and we were discussing like Vine and Snapchat and whatnot, and before his podcast, and he was like, oh, add me on Snapchat. And I was like, sure, why not? And so then he sends like these ridiculous things on it, to which I feel I need to respond. And at one point, like, it evolved into this really creepy back and forth video conversation in which we were pretending we had alternate personalities in the mirror, and it got really intense. But then I started sending things to other people, and I'm like, whoa, people send things back. And so the thing that I'm doing now is challenging people to play the headphone game over Snapchat, which is where you put headphones in and turn them up,
sing the song.
Yeah, you turn them up so you can't hear yourself, which means you're going to sound terrible, and then you sing the song at the top of your lungs, and the results are wonderful when people do this over Snapchat, even though you only get like 10 seconds or whatever. It's great. Yeah. Then the other thing is the Shatner game, which I initially tried to play months ago, but it didn't work. But now a couple people have attempted it, in which you yell Shatner, and the person has to, whatever they were doing, start doing it as if they were William Shatner. It's fun.
It's very bizarre.
Well, yeah, but when you don't want to be reading,
when you want to
really
literally be doing anything else than what you're supposed to be doing,
Yeah.
then that'll do in a pinch.
yeah, it will. And this came, I got really into it just at the news that third-party Snapchat app, Snapchat app got hacked.
Although they'll be sorely disappointed with your snap.
Yeah, they'll be. Well, and also I didn't use that, but I'm just imagining someone's going through, like, you know, all these, like, nudes and stuff, and then it's like, and here's a girl talking to herself in the mirror. Good times. Like, I'm using this wrong.
There's this huge list of people playing the headphone game. How do we get past these back to the boobies? Where does that come back in? You're like, I don't think this girl knows how to use Snapchat.
Nope.
There's this one movie, oh gosh, what is it? Oh, it's with Anna Faris, the What's Your Number movie. And there's this part where he's like trying to get her on Facebook and she's just like, I don't want to be on Facebook. But then they like find one of her, it's like, one of the guys on the list asked to be her friend. And she's like, I liked Evan. And they click on Evan and she's like, and so do his wife and kids. And then Chris Evans goes, he clearly doesn't understand Facebook, like what it's for, you know? So I can just imagine them going through clearly these people have no idea what Snapchat is.
This is not right. You people are too old for Snapchat. This is what we do. This is what old people like us do on Snapchat, play the headphone game.
Hey, first of all, don't loop me into that group.
Come on now.
I don't use Snapchat.
Yeah, you don't use the Twitter and all that stuff. Yeah, so
but I check it. I look at it.
The
one that we have.
It's great. Have some
I responded to someone a while ago.
I know, and I was really proud of you for that. It's true. Making friends left and right.
You know?
This Kristin.
I don't want to brag, but pretty awesome.
So anyway, Haley Joel Osment.
Oh, yeah. What's up with that guy? Did you watch that trailer?
I did. I watched the trailer.
I wished I hadn't watched it after I watched it.
So a couple weeks ago, we talked about him being this Nazi guy in a movie, and it was really creeptastic and weird. And I believe the throwaway term that I used that then people have been repeating back to me for several weeks is that Haley Joel Osment looks like he has an island of face because all his features are in the middle.
It's so perfect, though. And you know what? As I'm watching the trailer, I'm like, God, he does have an island.
Can't unsee it, can you?
I can't unthink it. It's forever linked in my mind as this thing.
Yeah, so the Island of Face is big time in this new trailer for a movie called Sex.Ed, which is like 40-year-old virgin meets American Pie, but like also looks kind of weirdly tame at the same time. Like, it doesn't look that raunchy. He plays a sex ed teacher,
but
who isn't getting any.
Yeah.
And he's not a virgin, though, right?
I don't think so. That's why I was confused by that. But he didn't seem
it's
also
just been
to know
a while.
what he was talking about. I don't.
Yeah,
I honestly stopped thinking about it halfway through.
Yeah, because he's like a sex ed teacher who like feels like it's real. His job is really important because otherwise these kids are gonna learn about sex on the internet, and it's a scary, creepy place, as all of his friends keep on telling him.
But he doesn't know, or I don't know, whatever. And then he like gets a crush on a student's sister who has a boyfriend.
Yeah.
It just looks like it's got those moments that are so cringeworthy. Even from the trailer, I'm like, nope, I can't see it.
Yeah, exactly. I feel weird about this. Like, I mean, this happens with child stars that when they come back, they decide they need to break away from everything they were and they take on these roles that are like uncharacteristic of what we think of them. Mm-hmm. I just, like, I don't even know. I'm doing your sputter right now because I'm so flabbergasted that these are the kinds of things that Haley Joel Osment is electing to do. Mm-hmm. You know? I mean, he's clearly got an agent who's getting him back in the game or whatever, you know? Like, because this is multiple things coming out at the same time. He's sort of back in the public eye. So it's not even a case of this is all he could get. I mean, maybe it is, but that it's just like, meh. He's in a thing here and there, and that's it. It's like, no, they're clearly doing a focused effort to try to get Haley Joel Osment back in, you know, on the big screen.
Yeah.
It's just such a strange way to do it.
Well, I don't know if it's, I guess it feels strange. I think you said it well, it feels strange to us because, I mean, at the risk of being a broken record, we think of him as, you know, the kid from Secondhand Lions, or the kid, I think of him that.
You think of the Secondhand Lions.
The kid from Sixth Sense.
Yeah, Pay It Forward, all that stuff.
Yeah, and you know, as like this cute, adorable little child. And so I don't think it's necessarily I think you're right, though. It's like, it's normal. This is just him coming out, not coming out, like coming out, but anyway, this is him trying to be like, look, I'm an adult now, which I feel like we saw it with Miley Cyrus, and we don't seem to have a problem with her. Well, people do, but, of her being super weird and doing weird things. And I mean, so he's just trying it. And I don't think there's very few people who have done it, made that transition. I can't even think of one right now that made it not awkwardly.
Well, here's my thing, is I think the more successful ones don't do it in the awkward way. Like when you have someone like Elijah Wood or Jennifer Lawrence or things like that, they sort of grow up. They don't leave, for one thing.
Well, I wouldn't put Jennifer Lawrence in that necessarily.
But she was a child star. I mean,
But what if we really were like, she wasn't like... She wasn't huge, she wasn't Haley Joel Osment,
Natalie Portman. Like,
yeah.
I mean, she did Closer or whatever, but she was still in the public eye doing like grown-up sort of thing. And I guess maybe when you get your start in the professional, it's different. Yeah, and the ones that I'm thinking of are like, I mean, I'm trying to think of someone who was like wholesome like he was, right. In his roles and so good. So maybe someone like Dakota Fanning, who you remember from these like not I Am Sam. Yeah, that's what it's called, right?
Is that what it's called? Yeah, the one with Sean Penn.
Sean Penn. Yeah, I think it's called.
I'm getting confused with Summer of Sam. That's not.
Oh,
the right
that's
one.
not the same thing. No.
Anyway, so I'm thinking of like her, and I guess maybe she's done it correctly. Whereas like, but she does even her. She had that Hound Dog one where she got raped. You know, so
and she
they
did
all
Twilight, which was weird too.
True, but not in like a trying to be super adultish. I'm going to do a movie about sex ed and be weird. So I don't know. I feel like no matter what, because we kind of see them as this wholesome thing, no matter what they choose as their first adult role, it's going to be weird.
Yeah.
Like no matter, so even if he chose something really tame, but just, but was an adult, we'd be like, oh, weird. That's a kid from The Sixth Sense. Like, first of all, he looks weird because he's old now, and all, in my head, he's perpetually 8.
Yeah.
Totally. Or whatever. So, I don't know. I mean, I give him props for at least trying, and I don't think he's doing it as crazy. I mean, he's not like
could be worse.
Liloing it or anything, and going off. I mean, I know he had his like drunken disorderly a while back or DUI.
Yeah,
so
DUI.
He seems to have moved past that, and he's trying to. I don't know. It's still weird. I'm not gonna say it's not weird, but for me, I'm like, well, I'm gonna give him props for at least trying, I guess. Even though I'm probably not gonna see. No. I haven't seen the Nazi movie. I don't know what it's about, so maybe I would, but.
Yeah, that one maybe more so than.
Maybe that one more so. I mean, me, I like historical movies, so. I don't know. It's but I will grant you that it is like funky and it makes me feel weird. I'm like, and plus I think it just makes us feel old.
Yeah,
frankly.
Definitely.
That's also in there. I'm like, hey, stay a little kid so I can stay a little kid.
Yeah. The one thing though is that he looks so young in this. It's like halfway through that trailer, you're like, there's no distinction between him and the students.
Well, and I'm not sure if that's intentional. Like, is that the point? Because they're dressing him like he's like dressing kind of like gooberishly, kind of like a geeky 14-year-old with like. And his hair's parted. You know what I mean? They're trying to make him look young. I don't know.
Maybe they're playing that up for whatever reason.
Yeah, so whatever reason.
That kind of counteracts the feeling oldness.
True,
is
totally.
That you're like, except he looks like a baby. So, it's a toss-up there.
Yeah,
but
I think with him, he might probably have, I think you're right with that, is he might have a little bit of a harder time because he does have such a baby face. So not only that, so it's like, I can still kind of see baby Haley in there.
Yeah, it's not
and
like
I'm trying to reconcile that with him,
yeah.
with him being this adult character. I'm like, at least like Dakota Fanning now looks old.
Yeah, she looks like a grown,
or the Harry Potter
woman.
kids.
Or,
like they all look.
But that's like with Daniel Radcliffe too. When he was in Woman in Black, like he looks way too young. You're like, he's still. I mean, he's 5'4" or whatever. And
he's like a little nugget. So
it's hard to buy him as like, oh, he's a dad with a a dead wife and all this kind of stuff. You're like, when did you have time to do that? You're 12. There's no way.
So I think it just goes to prove they're all awkward. At one point, there's at least one awkward movie that they put out when you're like,
especially if they don't grow up and like look different. Like like Josh Hutcherson, despite being tiny, looks very different than when he was like a chubby little.
Yeah, he's got his jawline has now squared out and
things like that. So there's that. Oh, Haley. Well, we'll see. I hope it leads to, like, a real comeback, though, that he's got his crap together and he doesn't. Me too,
because he was he was a good actor.
Yeah, I know. That's the thing. Well, which is also the case with Shia. He was a good actor, and now it's overshadowed by being a jerk.
It's craziness. But that's what happens, too, with a lot of it. I mean,
Mean Girls. Amanda Bynes, Lindsay Lohan.
Lindsay Lohan was great, and now, that's unfortunate, so.
Yeah, totally. Let's move on to TV. I got a message from John Vanderhoef just now that he is lamenting that this is a video podcast. He's like, oh, I hate putting my face out there. I'm like, you've been on this twice.
Yeah, wasn't he on The Boys and Corey one too? Isn't him the blonde guy?
Yeah, yep. Apparently Wes is not blonde, people keep telling me. To me, he's blonde.
Not as blonde as John. John
is super blonde.
Very blonde.
Yeah, very Midwestern. But
I guess Wes
you'll all
like
see his face. Sorry, Vanderhoef. Okay, so TV this week, The Flash finally premiered.
And was awesome. I loved it.
I really, really liked it.
I was pleasantly... I don't know how I missed that Jesse L. Martin was in it. Cause I love it.
I feel like I didn't... Like, everyone who popped up in that, I was like, how did I... Did I just ignore everyone in the...
I think I was so excited to see Danielle Panabaker that I kind of ignored everybody else.
Yeah, which cracks me up. I love how excited you were about Danielle Panabaker. She's great. She's a great actress, and she's in good things, but I feel like she's just, like, she's a that girl that most people don't, like, get super stoked. Like, that's not the, like, deal maker.
That's true.
But, yeah, she's in it, and it's so
good. And it set it up really great with, like, and so I didn't read The Flash, so I think it really set it up really well for... Like, you get the story kind of, okay, now we can go forward. Oh, this is what he's going to be doing. Yeah. But it gives you enough mystery. Like, what's his fate? I don't want to give it away.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen it.
You know, it's got
But that part at the end, ending, with the door. Okay, that whole part, I was like, whoa. Yeah. Whoa, what's happening? And so it leaves you with enough questions that it's going to make it really exciting. And I love the guy that's playing Flash. I think he's adorable. Great. I can't even handle it. Oh my gosh.
No, I agree completely. I feel like, I can't remember exactly how I described it when we were talking to Juan about this, but that it's like, it's kind of got the best elements of like Smallville without the like really cheesy, this is too sentimental moments in it. You know, it's not like the like, oh, now we're all corn-fed family. You know, it's more like, I don't know, there's more turmoil in it. It's
it's a darker backstory, I think.
It's a darker backstory, and it's, I don't know, everything about it just felt exciting, and like I'm looking forward to the sort of those Monster of the Week type arcs, well as where this is as like a big world. You know? I'm always a fan of things that do that, like baddie of the week. You know, when things like completely focus on the arc, I tend to sort of be like, okay, I've kind of run out of interest. I need that sort of quick changing up of stories.
Plus, it keeps it fresh and fun, and there's endless possibilities for that Monster of the Week kind of thing. Yeah, exactly. Especially with the route that I feel like they're taking it, where, I mean, already you see, I mean, it's no really big surprise. Obviously, like, there's this, you know, he gets hit by this lightning bolt. For those of you who don't know, I guess you'll see it in the trailer. So there's this like explosion, and this whole city gets kind of affected, and you're just kind of now starting to see it's like 9 months or something after it happens, and you're seeing the after effects of what this explosion has done to certain people. Right. So they're setting it up to be like, there's people out there who have gotten these weird things happening to them, and
much like Smallville and the meteor rocks.
Yeah, there you go. And also kind of, it's a little similar, I'm feeling like, to that show to Haven. I don't know if anybody's
totally.
Sci-Fi, where it's like
the
they all have these with the troubles, where I feel like it could be something kind of cool like that, where some of them maybe they're just like afflicted, but some of them are like, you know, I don't know, can't feel. It's like they're just like, can't do this, or they can like turn you into water or whatever.
Totally. Yeah.
So
that's a good comparison as well. And those are two shows I really like, Smallville and Haven. So, you know, I think it has, not only does it have potential, but I think it's building upon, with its sort of connection to Arrow and the way that they're developing superhero shows on CW. I think it's got this this longevity sort of built into it, and this promise that they're not really going to like shirk it and put it on the back burner. This is going to be something they're going to put a lot of money and effort and good writing into. And
I think it's because Arrow has done so well. And I was telling Corey, after I watched The Flash, I'm like, I got to go back. Because like during season 1, my dad was obsessed with Arrow. He's like, you got to watch it. I was like, okay. And it wasn't on Netflix. So of course, I'm like trying to find websites to watch it. And it was a pain. And I made it probably like halfway through the first season before I was like, I'm sick and tired of trying to find places to find these episodes. I just kind of like dropped off my radar. Yeah. And then it kept picking up traction, and so many people are talking about it. I'm like, and then after watching the first episode of Flash, I'm like, and now it's on Netflix. I'm like, I got to go back and rewatch it, you know? And as I'm watching, I'm like, I did really like it, and like the characters are fun, and I don't know.
Yeah, and I've never seen it, and I regret it because I keep hearing such good things, and now it's like being behind. I'm so bad at the binge watch. I have
Me
the
too.
habit of like starting and dropping halfway
Yep.
through. And so I really do want to catch up, but I want to see how these things come together. It's going to take like dedication. We should do like Brienne and I did with Supernatural and just like spend a weekend where we just binge watch all of it.
Dude,
Like
totally do it.
just do the entire season. We don't
There's
need
2
to
seasons,
leave.
though.
There's 2 seasons?
Yeah,
Jeez, where have I been?
I know.
Okay, that's 2 separate weekends, I guess. Like one season is like
Or
pushing it. for a
let's
weekend.
or if you like can watch the first, if we can watch each watch the first season and then come together and do the second, and then because if we do it rather quickly, there's only been like 1 episode or 2 of the new season, so we might be able to get into it.
Yeah, might be able to catch up. They
catch
also
up.
do that stupid thing on Hulu with CW though, where they only show the last 5 episodes of the like season that it's currently on. So
Oh,
you
they
can't be
do.
like, oh, I watched all of them to catch up. It's like you have to be in that 5 episode
That
window,
time frame. Well,
which is sucky.
now I'm over it. Seems like a lot of effort.
This just got really complicated. I don't know.
Although what they could do is sometimes then they do like another like binge watch before when they have that like mid-season break.
Yeah.
Sometimes
That's true.
they put all the seasons back up or episodes and then you can anyway, but we'll see.
That's
But
good.
anyway, Arrow. I'm super into it right now.
And that wasn't
so
a
I've been watching it.
dismissive wave. There was a fly going.
Oh,
by
that's
me
okay.
just now.
I actually didn't notice what you're doing, so it's fine.
Oh, okay, well, cool. But yeah, speaking of the Monster of the Week sort of format and whatnot, Gotham. People hate Gotham.
They do hate it.
Like a lot. I'm constantly going, and maybe this is also a function of the fact that I follow a lot of like TV people, like critics and stuff like that on Ello and on Twitter and whatnot, and everybody is
Oh,
constantly.
you're still doing Ello? That's a thing still?
kind of.
Let's not go on that
Yeah.
tangent, but
Just enough to see people talking, because I think you can do more long form things on Ello, and so people are writing like their displeasure with stuff like this in a way that
Gotham?
you wouldn't do it on Facebook.
anyway.
And yeah, so like I mean, some of these like one of the articles I found is like what's wrong with Gotham and how to fix it, and it's like cinematography. Like, what are you talking about? The cinematography is one of my favorite parts of this whole show.
Yeah.
And they said like Ben McKenzie is no good, and like that's dumb.
If they say anything about Donald Logue, we'll just quit reading it.
I know,
because
right?
clearly
That's
they're
where you know your
crazy pants.
argument is invalid.
Because
But I
he's one of the solid things each week. Where I'm like him and Cobblepot are like pretty much what's keeping me. I mean, not that I don't love Ben McKenzie, I do, but
seriously, for real. And like another one was called "Everything Old is Old Again." Gotham is stuck in Batman's shadow, and it's talking about how like it's a origin story to an origin story, and it's too influenced by Chris Nolan. And then another one says Gotham is the worst thing to happen to Batman since Joel Schumacher. I'm like,
that's an excessive.
it is.
The one thing I do, and honestly, I'm just giving it I'm still saying like this. We only had 2 episodes, right?
Is it only 2?
3.
I thought it was
We've had 3.
Yeah,
Just
3.
kidding. We've had 3. I forgot about that. So my one thing is I loved the first episode and how they were like kind of teasing all of these like future villains, which I thought was cool. There is one thing that I am worried about, that they are going to be trying to be origin story with like all like there's too many of them.
They are introducing
like with
too many
Selena
people.
Kyle, with the Riddler, I'm like, okay, let's just stick with Cobblepot. He's clearly like doing really well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I kind of hope that's the one thing I'm like, let's kind of pull back on some of these other
My
weird.
thing
I'm
is,
like,
like-
I don't even need to see Batman every time. Like if he wants to
Yeah,
show up
I
every
don't
once in
need
a while,
Batman.
like great. Let's just really focus on. I mean, I thought like the balloon guy was like kind of an interesting idea.
Yeah.
Like I know the Joel Schumacher one like hated that. Like, oh, this is the worst ever. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, it's kind
I
of
was
like
no,
a
that was
interesting-
rad.
It's a very Gotham-y bad guy, isn't
Yeah,
it? Like someone
just
that
like very
hooks people to weather
creative
balloons. Yeah.
and like very twisted in doing that. And in this week's, there's 4 episodes, because then in this week's they had the sort of Anton Chigurh kind of guy.
Oh, I haven't
the-
watched this one. That's
Okay,
why.
where he uses like how in No Country for Old Men he uses the like cattle thing that like shoots the.
yeah.
This
The
guy
air
has like a
compressor
thing
thing.
like that he uses. And it's
Dude,
like
I couldn't go to the
super creepy.
bathroom when I got home from that movie. It scared the crap out
Yeah,
of me.
that was, oh boy. And so they have this sort of creepy dude like that, and they introduce Arkham in this one. So they are introducing a lot. My thing is, as long as they don't, like, they can introduce all these people as long as they don't quickly become who they're gonna become. You know,
Right.
like Riddler is Riddler in a season, then that's going to be a problem. But
Yeah.
if he's just, this guy
Quirky
who happens
weirdo.
to work there, it's like I like the idea that all these people do exist, And
Me too. And I like the idea
in the
that that Gordon has interactions with all of them.
Right. It makes it so that, say 15 years from now when Batman comes in and all that kind of stuff, you're seeing how embedded Gordon is in the community.
Totally.
And it's like, it's very small town feeling for a metropolis like Gotham, but it gives you all this, that he would be so affected by the fact that, say, Selena grows up and, has her deal. And it's like, these are all people he worked with or knew, whether through crime or through work or through whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so he's got this, attachment and this, deep knowledge of the inner workings of Gotham that I like.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Every episode I'm intrigued by it. It's one of few shows that I don't multitask while watching. I feel like it's just, the critic response to it doesn't match up with, actual people's responses.
Right.
When you see, it getting consistent, 8 to 9 ratings on IMDb and stuff like that. There's clearly a discrepancy there.
Clearly there's a difference there, yeah. So.
Yeah, but I really enjoy it.
And and really, if you think about it, it's actually better that the critics don't like it, because when critics all like a TV show, those are the ones that get canceled.
It's true, yeah. Anything critics it's
remember
bad.
we just saw that Freaks and Geeks story this week, so.
That Seth Rogen apparently chewed out the person who
and Paul Rudd apparently helped him, which was fun. Did you read that article today that they posted where Paul Rudd's like, "Oh, it was? How did that make you feel?" So good.
Yeah. So that canceled Freaks and Geeks. I don't know if that full sentence came out of my mouth. But yeah, it's true. When critics like things, it's bad.
Tends to be a death sentence.
Critics like Community too. I don't like Community, but they like it, and it keeps on getting canceled. So
yeah, critics hate NCIS. What now?
That one I feel like you're right on, but that does show the gap.
Shut your mouth.
It does show the gap between critics and the public. Let's give old John Vanderhoef a call.
Let's do it.
What do you
Get
say?
that guy in here.
Get that guy on the horn. I'm gonna add him in. Do. And his face is going to be on this screen. Maybe. Oh, there we go. Wow, look at that picture.
I don't have a picture.
You don't have a picture? John,
hello.
We need to see you.
Oh, wait, I've got to click this camera icon.
Yep.
Hey!
Hey! John Vanderhoef. How's it going?
Live? Is this live? Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Is it
Hello,
live?
everybody.
No, it's not live.
Oh, it's not live. Oh, I meant live recording.
But it's recording.
It's recording.
That's right. You don't stream live.
No.
Okay.
We
Yeah,
are
right. That'd be very bad.
mid-conversation. We just had a nice little talk about Gotham and whatnot, and wanted to bring you in to discuss a little bit about some Marvel action and about Ghostbusters. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what's going on with Ghostbusters, John?
Wait, I'm supposed to know about what's going on with Ghostbusters?
It's very simple.
Okay, well, so I know that Dan Aykroyd was sort of trying to get a third Ghostbusters movie made for probably the last 10 to 15 years. Yeah. They've had scripts kind of in development this entire time, and one of the big hurdles to getting this done was resistance from Bill Murray, who I'm going to misquote him, but the paraphrase is something like, nobody wants to see a bunch of old fat farts, carry around Ghostbuster packs or something like this. Right. Basically, no one wants to see a bunch of elderly gentlemen try to fight ghosts because they're up there in the years now.
Yeah.
And so in the past 6 months, the powers that be sort of are trying to rebrand the Ghostbusters franchise, and the latest rumors are that they're going to do a full reboot, as you know, with an all-female cast, which is the first time I've been excited about this property since the second movie came out in, what is it, the early 90s,
yeah,
maybe.
A long time ago. Yeah, and it's helmed by Paul Feig, who did Bridesmaids and
exactly.
What's that?
Heat.
The Heat.
Yes.
This is a long time ago I discussed this, that every time I don't know the name of a comedy, it becomes Date Night in my mind. So I was going to say date night, but it's The Heat.
The Heat.
And so, he's kind of got a good history of funny projects and working with funny women as well. And so we were going to talk a little bit with this idea of, an all-woman cast about our dream casts for Ghostbusters. And this has been stressing Kristin out a little bit.
You guys, literally, my list is a list of people that I just saw them in something. That's this list I've made.
That's okay. My list is literally just like every funny woman I could think of, which is really sad because it's not that long. As a critique, I mean that I don't study this enough or see enough movies and television. So, but I have 10 names that I'd be happy with sort of being in this film. So yeah.
Whereas I didn't cheat. I picked only the a direct number of my exact cast. But let's start with Kristin here because I am interested to see.
You have to guess what I've been watching lately.
Yeah, let's
off of the people I've come.
Is Kelly McDonald? Is that her name on that? Is she on it? Yes. Kristin was watching The Decoy Bride.
Oh, you guys! And I was like, she's so funny. And I looked on her IMDb, and she's not going to be in anything. I'm like, I'm going to put her on my.
She has plenty of time. I think John might have frozen. Oh, there he is. Or he was just sitting like that for a while.
Well, actually, so now that you mention it, yes, Kelly McDonald is on my list.
Yes, awesome.
Then I actually picked America Ferrera.
Oh.
Because I was thinking kind of like Ugly Betty. She was funny in that.
She was. And you know what? I
just watched Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants.
There it is. She was on The Good Wife, too, and I miss her on Good Wife, so I would be totally down to see her in this.
Okay. Yeah. I picked Regina Hall.
Regina Hall.
Yep. She was, she's been in some TV stuff and some movie stuff.
Like anything in particular?
Well, the movie that I just watched was Think Like a Man 2.
Oh, God.
But, okay, I think she could do a good job.
I'm gonna Google her just to see if I can come up with a.
She was in Love and Basketball. She was in.
Okay, I know her from Love and Basketball.
She was in what's it called? The other Ally McBeal.
My gosh, she looks like she's 19 and she is 43.
Wow.
43 years old.
Oh,
Good job, Regina.
Okay. Anyway, then I have Chelsea Peretti.
She's on my list too.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm a fan.
Love her. And then. So obviously, because I'm watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Yeah, I mean, clearly.
And the other one, this is a random one too. I have Felicia Day.
Nice. No, I feel good about that.
I don't know.
No? Okay.
It'd be weird.
It'd be weird? Tell us about it, John.
Well, I mean, I just feel like she could probably definitely work. I don't know if she's ever had a meaty role like that. Just because I think of her and I think of small projects. So I don't know if ever or sort of niche sci-fi TV shows.
Yeah, like Supernatural and things like that.
She could definitely work though. I mean, she would fit in with most of the names I'm talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I mentioned to Corey earlier that on my way back from the bathroom in order to start recording, I was like, "Oh, Aisha Tyler! I should add her to my list because
she's on my list as well." But B list maybe because I'm gonna wait to say anything else. But yeah, go ahead.
Anyway, and that's. I think I had someone else on I left my list at home, so this is what I got off my memory.
Yeah, this is her redone list.
My redone list. So anyway, that was that.
I feel pretty good about all of those choices. I mean, I don't know. I already forgot it. Regina Hall.
Yeah.
You know, I was about to say Regina King. Isn't that the name of the
That's
one from Southland?
Yeah.
Like that. Yeah.
Yes.
Not
her.
The same one. Not the same person. I like her too, but I don't know if I'd put her in Ghostbusters.
I wouldn't put her in Ghostbusters.
No.
But anyway.
Because my list is shorter and there's probably going to be overlap, John, I'm going to do mine first.
Okay.
You're the guest, you go last. That's how
right.
we do it in the fan cave. Aisha Tyler is definitely on my list. I would watch her in anything. I've watched, this is also one of those cases where it's things I've been watching lately. So I watched 4 episodes of Whose Line Is It Anyway? Therefore, I'm that woman.
That'll do it.
That woman, she would be amazing. Mindy Kaling is definitely, again, I would put her in just about anything too because I'm obsessed with the Mindy Project. I loved her on The Office, and she could also be a writer on the show. I mean, on the movie, because she's epic at writing. And then Gina Rodriguez, who is from the new show Jane the Virgin. I'm already obsessed with her. She's I knew I was going to be. I saw like an interview with her a month or so ago, and I was like, oh my gosh. I'm going to be obsessed with that woman, and I am. The show aired last night, and I'm like, yep, solid. She's
Sweet.
Glorious, and I think she would be great in it. My kind of like offbeat pull for this is Karen Gillan, from Doctor Who, and now Selfie. I've been watching.
Wait,
that.
wasn't she the bad guy in Guardians?
Yeah,
of the
she's
Galaxy?
Nebula.
Okay.
Mhm. Yes, I should have said that, John, to clarify it for you. You know, Nebula.
Who would have said it?
Yeah.
See, but that would have been like weird because I'm like, I don't know if she could pull it off because she's kind of a
Yeah, because she's like super like hardcore and that or whatever.
and
but
she's like
then-
bald. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I know she's not. No.
But on Selfie, she's like really, really goofy, and then on like Doctor Who, she's somewhere in between those characters. So I feel like she's got enough range that she could kind of be any buster. But I did add, my other pull was that if there were like a Janine type
I wanted to
character.
mention this as well.
You
Yes.
did this. Stephanie Beatrice from Brooklyn Nine-Nine would be my Janine character.
But she'd have
because
to use her regular
her real voice. Yeah. Which she kind of pulled out a little bit on Brooklyn Nine-Nine this week, which was awesome.
Wait, who does she play on Brooklyn Nine-Nine?
She's,
Diaz.
Diaz. Yeah, the, like, serious, angry one.
Oh, yeah, she'd be good. Yeah.
Wouldn't she be
Her
great?
in
You
real
should-
life, John, have you ever heard her speak in real life?
No.
Okay. It's
She's such
nothing
a-
like her voice. It's like
Is it-
nasally and like
Really high.
weird, high, super high pitched.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's so bizarre. I'm like, what? What's happening right now?
And she wears these, like, red, like, glasses.
Like she's like kind of. I think she's a crazy person, but I'm into it. So
Yeah. Like, crazy
gonna
in a
have to
real
Google
good
that.
way.
you're gonna
Yeah.
you need to because it'll blow your mind when she starts talking. It's like I was relating it to like when Hugh Laurie speaks with his British accent, and you're like, who is this guy?
That's not real.
Crazy.
That's not real.
Yeah.
But
So that's my dream cast right there. I would love that movie.
So-
And that wasn't even intentionally, as like I looked at it afterwards. I was like, oh, that's a really diverse cast I made there, but that wasn't on purpose. It just happened that way.
Just
Just happened.
I like it. I'm into it.
All right,
so,
John.
I'm supposed to only pick 4. Is that right?
That's
Is that-
if you're gonna do it
Or
right.
5 if you want to
Prioritize,
If
yeah.
you want to do a Janine
Janine.
character.
Okay. So I have a long list that I'm only going to pick 4 though, and you guys have talked a lot, but this is the basic thing, and this is going to be a cop out.
Okay.
But if it was just Bridesmaids Ghostbuster edition, I would be more than happy.
Yeah.
So specifically keeping Kristen Wiig, Maya Rudolph, and Melissa McCarthy. And then you could put someone else in there.
Like
either
Rose
from-
Byrne.
I'm sorry?
Rose Byrne.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe Rose Byrne. I was thinking, like, I don't know, anyone from my other list. Kristen Shaw, we didn't mention. I think she'd be great.
That's true. She could also be your Janine, like realistically.
She could be your
She could.
Janine.
Yeah.
Although this is what I'm thinking about for Janine. As long as we're doing the whole gender swap, we do the gender swap for Janine.
Why not?
And for some reason, Michael Cera just came into the
That would act like I actually think
don't
that might be
know.
brilliant.
with like a little pair of spectacles. He could be. I don't know who else would be a good male
gender, yeah.
Gene, but that would be great. I think.
Yeah, that's quite brilliant, John. I like that. I'm
I
trying to
know.
think of other dudes who would work, but I feel like Michael Cera is now in my head as that character.
Well, I was trying. I'm thinking of because you know how she was always just very like whatever you
Yeah.
want to do. So it's like I need to think of like an Aubrey Plaza.
Well,
Exactly.
or yeah.
That's not Aubrey Plaza. So who's like a
like a
male
dude.
version of Aubrey Plaza? Who's like whatever.
I also think it could be funny if it was the guy who does On the Street, Billy on the Street, Billy Eichner, who's also on Parks and Rec.
He plays the crazy guy on Parks and Rec,
with
right?
the yelling.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, he would be good. That guy's
Yeah,
awesome.
I could totally see him pulling off like the kind of aloof, like whatever, but then also
Yeah.
like he also has that when he explodes, he's hilarious.
Yeah.
So
And he
Like,
would explode
yeah.
at least once at them.
He's my choice now. He's my choice.
sorry, Michael Cera, it's now Billy Eichner. Yeah, I feel like these are all good choices, and it's gonna be like, unless they totally botch it, which I don't think Paul Feig would do.
No.
It's gonna be awesome no matter what. I think probably it will be an arrangement of people who are already in those lists we just made. I think it's likely all of them are going to be from our lists. Although Gillian Anderson apparently is begging for a role in it. Like, full on, she's like, cast me in this movie.
Wait, is this the X-Files, Gillian?
Yeah, the X-Files, Gillian Anderson.
Okay.
Yeah, she really wants to be in it.
Like a bit role or someone who's like, someone from the government coming to investigate the ghost.
Like the bitchy police commissioner or whatever.
Right.
That would work.
Yeah, I have a hard time imagining her as one of them, but I mean, I don't know. Maybe it could work. It's just she doesn't usually play, like, funny characters. I mean, yeah, I can't even see her as, like, an Egon or anything like that. It's just, I don't know. We'll see.
She's just so, like...
She's got that straight-lacedness. Even her sense of humor, because she's a hilarious person. I went to an X-Files panel with her and David Duchovny at Comic-Con, and she was so freaking funny, but everything she said was, like, very dry, and she never really, like, broke when she said it. It was just, like, always straight-faced and, like, kind of sarcastic and whatnot. Jay and Dan are on my TV. It makes me happy. Anyways, I told Kristin I had the Giants game on in the background. And yeah, they just had Jay and Dan on there, who are my favorite podcasters. Anyway, the other things we wanted to talk to you about was, as you put it, Christmas has come.
It has, yes.
Tell us why.
So Variety came out with an article last night that supposedly Robert Downey Jr., who many people know is contracted for Avengers 2 and 3, is also in talks with Marvel to join Captain America 3, that's coming out May 2016, in what might be the first part in a longer adaptation of the famous Civil War limited series that Marvel ran in like 2005 or 2006 or something like this. It's a huge news. Not only do you get more Robert Downey Jr., more Iron Man, but it's kind of this storyline sort of pits the heroes of the Marvel Universe against each other, along the fault line of those who support government control of superpowered individuals, and then those who, like Captain America, don't believe the government should, have their fingers in these kinds of people. So it was amazing news so far.
Whoa.
Fingers,
it's not that kind of show, John. Not that kind of show.
It could be.
Save that for Snapchat.
I'm sorry. There had to have been a better way to say that.
I'm speaking off the cuff. But yeah, it was big news, and it's not getting confirmed, but Variety's pretty trustworthy. And so it's leading people to speculate all kinds of things. I don't know if you heard, but like there's tons of talk about Marvel buying at least sort of like a cameo rights to Spider-Man.
Yeah, I have seen that.
Tomorrow.
Yep, which is interesting. I don't know. You're excited about Iron Man showing up in Captain America then?
Yeah, I would say I'm enthusiastic about it. I like the direction of the cinematic universe, if that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, this might be the thing that makes me actually enjoy Captain America movies, throwing in...
Get out of here, Corey. I know. She's dumb.
I can't... I mean, like, I don't hate them. I just, like, they're boring.
You're boring. Did you see the new one? It was so good.
I did. I went and saw it. John, didn't I go with you? Did we...
No. You went to the drive-in,
Yeah,
right?
I went to the drive-in.
Yeah, I saw it like twice even before you guys went there. So
and that was like opening weekend. No, it wasn't.
No, it was.
Was it? Yeah,
John just saw it and then stayed while they cleaned the theater and watched it.
No, I know what you mean about like, well, I can't say like the first Captain America is that great of a film. There are parts of it I absolutely love, but I would say the last third of it is really questionable.
Okay, that's fair.
But the sequel is, I mean, outside of like nitpicks, it's pretty unimpeachable as far as like superhero films go. I don't know. It's really good.
I don't know. I guess to me it was like too much of the being able to predict everything from like the instant you met a character and so forth. Like, because like to me, part of the fun of watching a movie is not knowing where it's going. And so if I know where it's going right away, I'm like, meh.
Yeah, that's a valid.
Take it or leave it. So that, I mean, it's like, it's not that like the acting's fine, the action is fine, like all that kind of stuff. It was more just that I was watching it and I was like, I'm not excited because I can already see what's going to happen.
I can see that. How do you two feel about the Robert Downey Jr. announcement?
Yeah, like I said, I think I
love
can
more
get
Robert
behind
Downey Jr. in everything. Put him in everything.
He's been screwing with us so much in the past like week or two about, Iron Man and Iron Man 4 and Mel Gibson.
I don't think he's been screwing with us. I think people have said things. He's like,
right. He's like, no, that's not what I meant.
He's more of just crushing our dreams lately. So this is one of those you're like, oh,
yeah,
finally.
Oh,
so I'm still. I mean, I like him.
And yeah, I like what you were saying, John, about sort of the trajectory of the Marvel Cinematic Universe too. I mean, this is just part of an expansion that can kind of go on, forever at this point.
Well, the only bummer though is that you've got these. I think the only bummer for me is I know, especially like already Robert Downey Jr. kind of said like we're not doing another Iron Man, and I know Chris Evans is like once my contract's done, like I'm getting out of this whole thing. So the only I think bummer is that while the movies and the storylines have like infinite possibilities of where to go, like you only have a limited time with these actors that we already associate with the character.
Right.
So if they're gonna have to replace Iron Man or replace Captain America, it's gonna get harder, I think, as time goes on to continue doing these movies without the original people in them.
Or just keep, the thing is by adding more characters, I mean, like we have Hawkeye coming out, right? Like,
true.
So, if you can sort of keep adding characters and making people love them within the framework of these films already existing, then I think potentially those could spin off without it just being like, oh, another new character. Instead, it's like if they're added into what we already have.
That's true.
They might be able to use that.
And I think that regardless of what Chris Evans has said publicly or not, and he kind of has gone back and forth too. I mean, once Marvel waves his own $40 million in front of him, and they give him maybe he likes to direct, maybe they're going to let him direct a feature. There's all kinds of incentives they can give him to keep him on board. He's really, I mean, he's like what 2 years older than me. I have no idea how that's possible, but he's like. Yeah, he's young still.
Yeah, that's true. He's a baby.
Yeah, so I could see with the right negotiating, I think he'll be around for at least another 8-10 years.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think you're probably right. And then the other thing to address, which is just briefly, because you're more the MCU guy than the Marvel comics in general, right? But you do read your comics. You've got your Marvel Unlimited. Fantastic Four is kaput.
That's right.
They've announced they're getting rid of it, and it probably has to do with the battle over rights that has resulted in the film Fantastic Four. Thoughts on that, John?
Yeah, so that's what
that's the narrative that's playing right now.
That's the narrative on the internet, and this is what I've also heard is that the Fantastic Four book right now has one of the lowest circulations of any of the Marvel books. It's something like 26 or 28,000 per month, which is very little. I don't know the numbers of the best-selling comic books from Marvel, but I imagine they're in the hundreds of thousands, probably not millions, but hundreds of thousands. Right. So it's not selling well. Then someone else said to me on Twitter, Rowan Kaiser, who I think you probably know.
Yep.
Yeah, we were talking about this on Twitter, and he was like, well, I think that's because of the Marvel has stopped all marketing for that book. I don't follow it that closely. I didn't even know they really market these books. I figure the fans are the fans.
Right.
So I can't say whether that's also a factor, but I'm not one of those conspiracy theorists who think that anything that happens in the comic books is like Marvel trying to undermine Fox or Sony. This is something I have heard, though, is that Marvel's not letting the writers of X-Men and Spider-Man and Fantastic Four create new characters. So, in other words, create new IP to use in the films. I think this is a way to sort of creatively starve those studios.
Yeah,
that's something I do believe. But as far as canceling a book that has a circulation of 28,000 and having any effect on the future of the Fantastic Four movies from Fox, I just think that's like fanboys talking on the internet.
That's fair. I feel like either way, one of the things that's it's people's reactions to something that's so, I mean, what is it, like 54 years or something like that it's been running. So clearly people are going to have these deep reactions to losing it, you know. So maybe you're right. Maybe it's a fanboy conspiracy theory, and it just basically is that at its core, people aren't reading it. And that, you know, that may also have something to do with the failure of the movies. So I think the movies that do well see a bump in circulation on the comics, but not so much when you make movies that everyone hates. So it didn't get the boost it might have otherwise.
We'll see this book return when the film hits. I don't know if the book will be next year, but they're just giving it a break. It'll be back within 2 years, I'm sure. I mean, especially if the film takes off and does really well. Why wouldn't the Marvel Publishing?
Right. It'd be stupid not to sell it.
Exactly.
Indeed. Well, thank you for that, John, for stopping by and talking some Marvel with us.
Thank you for having me, as always.
Yeah, you get back to that dissertation of yours.
Yeah, go dissertate.
Dissertate?
It's
going to sound weird no matter what.
Yeah.
All right. Peace out, John.
All right, later.
If I hit
I don't know what to do.
You should hit. Okay. I was like, I realized if I hit the hang up button, I was like, oh, I think I will hang up on us.
How dare you? Don't give up on us, Corey.
Now I've lost you, though. I can't see you. Where am I? Oh, no, I don't want to start a new call. Oh, here I am. Okay, perfect. All right, so to close out...
All right.
Oh, gosh, we spent so much time, and now I'm like, we actually have two things that we have. But are you on Pottermore right now?
I am. Do you want me to sign up?
You sign up. While you sign up, because you're going to have to put your email in there and everything, let's talk a little bit about clowns.
I don't want to do that.
I know. It's but it's good. You're multitasking. You only have to half listen.
Good.
If you all have been paying attention, there has been trending on Facebook and whatnot that there's a county called Wasco County in California that has been taken over by clowns. And by this I mean there's been a roaming group of clowns spurred on apparently by an art project that a husband and wife duo had put on with a clown showing up in town. A bunch of copycats then joined in, and so this town just has like a ton of clowns wandering around it, which is super creeptastic because everybody in this day and age hates clowns. Mm-hmm. Which is why on American Horror Story Freak Show, the primary antagonist of this season is the scariest clown I have ever seen in my entire life. Now, given I have an aversion to clowns. When I was a kid, I remember running away terrified from Ernest the Gospel Clown at the local church. So I'm already anti these. But he's got this weird thing where, like, his skull looks like it's hanging out, and he's got, like, this smile that looks like it's built in, like it's stitched onto his face, and he's very stabby guy. His name's Twisty the Clown. And
no.
He's just so evil, just beyond. In a show in which there's a lot of morally compromised people as it is, this guy takes the cake above all of them, and it was hard to sleep after watching it the other day. But I read an article after this. For one thing, one of my favorite things is that one of these clowns got arrested. He was harassing locals, I guess. But the best thing was he was a 14-year-old boy dressed as a clown. He was arrested for scaring a neighborhood child. Here's what he was charged with.
Yeah.
Annoying a minor.
I honestly cannot believe I've not been charged with that yet.
Right? Like, oh man.
Can minors be charged with annoying you?
Yeah, seriously, that should be a thing. I just think that's the funniest charge. Like, that's a law on the books in Wasco? Like, annoying a minor? Is that everywhere? I don't even know. Yeah. So there's that. But I read this other article that basically was talking about why we hate clowns. Because despite the fact that clowns have at times been in history portrayed as violent or, otherwise frightening, in general, people really liked them, which to us is confounding in this day and age because they have always been scary, with Pennywise in It and things like that. But it's interesting, this article traces it back to John Wayne Gacy, who,
wow.
yeah, I thought that was interesting. It's, because famously, when he was, arrested somewhere in the late 70s or early 80s, he, in his normal life, whatever that means, dressed as a clown called Pogo. And he, helped out at churches and did community service and all kinds of stuff like that. And so then
buried people under his house.
Right, exactly. So he had this, it gave this weird, sinister thing to clowns, the idea of this, serial killer underneath that makeup. And it was so huge in the news and everything that people, really latched on to that image of Pogo, the serial killer clown. And then, it came along and things like that afterwards. Killer clowns from outer space. And clowns sort of permeated pop culture as this terrifying thing, which then brings us to Twisty the Clown and why it's terrifying to imagine that if you live in Wasco, California, somewhere in your day-to-day activity you might run into a clown.
Dude, I would hate that.
Yeah. That's so, I would
My brother,
pee.
yeah. Well, my brother, one time, his friends convinced him to go to Not Scary Farm.
Oh, no. That is a serious no.
Right? And that's a big time no-no for me. Now, Not Scary Farm is one where they can't... Can they touch you in Not Scary Farm?
I feel like they can touch you at Not
Scary Farm. Because they can't at Universal Studios, right? One of them can't. So one of those... So, whatever. Regardless of the fact, it's super creepy. And there was a clown that essentially, could smell the fear on my brother because... he, followed him around. Because my brother, he saw my brother, freaked out. Of course, dude, clown, we gotta get away from it.
Yeah,
and
they
then
have an eye for that, man.
And the way that Chad tells it is he's they would, walk, and he'd, turn, oh, okay, the clown's gone. He's but seriously, Kristin, I would turn and look sideways, and he would be standing, in the crowd, looking at my brother, staring at him.
No! Just sitting there we all float down here, Chad.
Yeah! Are you kidding me? And then finally he ended up getting him to go away by, shaking his hand or... something, essentially confronting his fear, I'm sure, or something. But and he would just at a distance, or when Chad finally thought he'd lost him, he would just show up standing next to him. He's
no, I would leave. I would leave the park.
Yeah, that's. I would go eat fried chicken outside, wait for my mom to come get me. Yeah, whatever.
There's no way. I can't deal with that. I mean, that's blending two fears right there too. It's the clown fear, and then someone watching you.
Yeah.
And turning and finding that someone has been there the whole time. Those are
two
visceral fears.
Right? Totally. Because
that's when I was a kid, I always said anyway. My biggest fear was turning around in a window and seeing someone staring back. Yeah. And I was at my friend Jenna's house one day when I was in 7th grade, and it was her the front of her house was just all windows. And we were sitting there, and I think we'd even been telling scary stories and stuff like that. And I just casually turned to my left, and there's a face in the window, and I jumped and screamed and ran. I was just so freaked out. And it was just her dad. He had just gotten home from work, and he happened to be walking by at that moment, so he stopped and looked in the window. Yeah. But all I saw was just eyes.
A face, yeah.
Oh my God, it's terrifying. It's
I know.
My nightmare. I know. So if it was a clown...
Forget it.
Just drop dead on sight.
I'd probably just never look out the window again.
No, that's probably the only reasonable solution, actually.
I think so.
Just
pretty sure.
Avoid it. Because if you don't see it, it's not there.
Yes. I am a firm believer in that.
Yeah. I'm
firm believer.
Fully for that. This is, when I get terrified of things, I listened to this video story once, it was called the Ghost Box, I believe. I posted it on my Corrigan Vaughn profile page today, and I listened to a year ago around Halloween, I think. And it was so scary that I knew that the front door of my house was unlocked, but I couldn't physically move to go lock it. So I was you have to because someone can get in, but I'm once I go over there, they're coming in.
Yeah.
That's it. I just would rather pretend it's not happening and not look at it, and then they can come murder me in my sleep, but I don't want to know what's happening.
Yep, me neither.
Just ignore it. So how's Pottermore going over there?
I'm ready to go.
All right, so have you gone to Gringotts?
I'm starting my journey.
You're starting your journey, so you got to go to the bank.
Okay.
Get yourself some money.
Unlock my vault.
Yep, unlock that vault. So Kristin has now made a Pottermore name. What's your name on Pottermore? Because it assigns a random one because children use it.
I picked Seer Hawthorne 12075.
All right. Mine
500.
is
I have 500 gallons.
galleons.
Yeah, that too. Is that how you say it? Galleons?
Yeah,
Isn't
because
it
there's an
galleons?
E in it, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay, so then I think you need to get a cauldron and you need to get an owl, right? And then you'll be able to...
You gotta get a lot of stuff first.
Oh, well, you're going to school. It's back to school.
First year shopping list.
Yeah.
Wand.
I don't know I think in order to get sorted into a house, all you need is an owl. Maybe it's just an owl.
Don't I need a wand?
Wait, click on the sorting hat thing because then it'll tell you what you need. That's probably better than me trying to remember what it is you're supposed to do.
Sorting hat?
Yeah.
Is that in the Great Hall?
Probably. Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, my sister got like the best username on there that's like really silly. And when I did it, I don't think I had
You're
like,
right.
a choice.
I do need a pet and I have to get my wand.
A pet and a wand. Okay, yeah. And mine's like Ovis Watch and then a bunch of numbers. And there's way too many numbers, so I have to look it up every time I want to use it. I don't remember this stuff. You look so confused.
I'm trying to find Magical Menagerie.
Ooh.
Let me see.
If you had an owl, Laddie, which you are buying now, what would you name it?
This barn owl is pretty.
Yeah, what would you name your barn owl?
Do I have to name it?
Well, I'm asking you. You don't have to in the game. I'm just asking. What would you name your barn owl?
Ethan?
Ethan?
That's literally the first name I thought of. I panicked.
That's the best. I just love the idea of like an owl with like a normal like kid name.
Oh.
That's fantastic. It's like when you meet dogs and people are like, you're like, oh, what's its name? And they're like, oh, John Smith.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
All right, well, Ethan the owl, and here we go. I am average height for my age. I'm making my wand.
Okay, great. You are average.
Your eye color.
Are you struggling with what color your eyes are, Laddie?
I just feel like that's a strange question. An
that's
odd number? I have to pick an odd number?
I'm sure there are instructions. Read them out to us here, Letty.
Oh,
Tell
wait.
us your process.
Which day were you born? An even number. Sorry. Do you pride yourself? Do you most pride yourself on your determination, imagination, resilience, intelligence, originality, optimism, or kindness?
It's a tricky one. What do you think, Laddie?
My optimism?
That was my first thought. I was like, maybe optimism? I think that's a good one.
Traveling alone down a deserted road, you reach a crossroads. Do you continue left towards the sea, ahead towards the forest, or right towards the castle? I like the ocean.
All right. I do not get to say have fun storming the castle, but that's okay.
Do you most fear darkness, fire, heights, isolation, or small spaces?
Bet you know which one of those I picked.
Fire. You picked fire.
No, I didn't pick fire. That is a big fear of mine, though. But small spaces.
Our entire discussion about Backdraft.
Listen, I'm afraid of a lot of things.
I'm going to go with heights. I'm not a big fan of heights.
Oh, okay. That's one of the few things I'm not afraid of. I have no problem with heights.
In a chest of magical artifacts, which would you choose? A dusty bottle, an old glove, a golden key, a bound-up scroll, a jewel, a dagger. Duh. That's so cool. You are average height, hazel eyes, even number, optimism, towards the sea, heights, silver dagger.
All right. Let's see.
Get my wand.
Oh, boy.
Ooh, redwood with dragon core.
Ooh.
12.5 inches solid.
I like redwood. I feel great about that.
Looks cool. I like the picture.
Nice. Okay,
all right.
Perfect. So now you're ready.
Here we go.
This is the moment of truth, Laddie. This is very exciting.
Wait, there's a video. Do I have to watch it?
It's just J.K. Rowling being like, oh, you're about to be sorted.
No, I don't care. No. I know. Trust me. Oh my god, here we go.
All right, you got to read the questions to us so we know what's happening.
Okay. After you have died, what would you most like people to do when they hear your name? Miss you but smile. What are the other options? Oh wait.
I think you have to like
okay.
rotate them.
Ask for more stories about your adventures. I won't have any. Think of admiration of your achievements. I won't have any of those either.
Wow.
I don't care. After they think I'm dead, it's what they think of me while I'm alive.
Fair.
I would say miss me but smile.
Okay, yeah, that's good. Pretty
Yes,
pessimistic about your life trajectory, but it's cool.
Really? I think that's nice. Like, they miss me.
No, I just meant your attitude towards your adventures and whatnot.
I don't think I have adventures that are like storytelling adventures. Like, I think they're funny.
You're not
but
like a Bilbo Baggins type.
Yeah, it's not like anyone's going to write a book about me, driving across America.
Okay.
Every century, the flutterby bush produces flowers that adapt their scent to attract the unwary. If it lured you, it would smell of a crackling log fire, the sea, fresh parchment, home, or home. Ooh, that's hard.
Between parchment and home.
Because I don't know if necessarily home.
It really depends. If like you had like a house like always smelled of
fresh
cinnamon.
My parents' house smells like bacon a lot.
Ooh, that is nice.
But I'm going to go with fresh parchment because I love opening a book and smelling that.
Yep, I do that
so I'm going to go with that.
This is the first time paper has won over bacon in the history.
Here we go. The troll has gone berserk in the headmaster's study. It is about to smash, crush, and tear several irreplaceable items and treasures, including a cure for dragon pox, which the headmaster has nearly perfected. Student records going back 1,000 years, and a mysterious handwritten book full of strange runes believed to belong to Merlin. In which order would you rescue these objects from the Trolls Club if you could?
Ooh. This is like one of those, like, who would you throw out of the boat type questions.
Yeah. Wait, student records? Who cares?
Hundreds of years of them. What if you had to, like...
I feel like dragonpox is like a disease, right?
Yeah, like pretend it's Ebola.
I would go with dragonpox, Merlin's book. Oh, wait, it's student records and mysterious handwritten full of runes. Ooh, but maybe the runes could help you solve a mystery.
That's true. Or rewrite history.
But you don't know what's in the runes, so is that a chance you're willing to take?
I don't know, laddie. That's a thing you have to decide for yourself. There's a lot of uncertainty here.
There is.
You can't know.
What is it? Is it just Merlin's book? Oh, it's believed to belong to Merlin.
Yeah. We don't know what's in there either.
Oh, no. Wait.
Feel like you're...
No, I see. Those are two separate things. So the book they think belonged to Merlin is full of the runes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm going to do that one, I guess.
Okay.
I'm still going to keep it. There we go.
All right.
Yeah.
Great.
All right. How many questions are there? If you could have any power, which would you choose? The power to read minds, invisibility, super strength, speak to animals, the power to change the past, the power to change your appearance at will. Ooh, that's kind of fun. I don't know. Okay, read minds. I don't think I want to hear what people are thinking.
No, ew.
I don't really want to be invisible.
I would like to be.
Superhuman strength. I don't know. What would I do with that?
That could be helpful.
Speak to
really
animals.
To help people
could be
move.
cool. Change the... I'm going to go with change your appearance. I think that would be fun.
All right.
All right. Which nightmare would frighten you most? Standing on top of something very high and realizing suddenly there are no hand or footholds nor any barrier to stop you from falling.
Ooh, that gives me a little bit of vertigo just thinking about it.
Yeah. An eye at the keyhole of a dark windowless room in which you are locked.
Well, that's like what we were just talking about.
Yeah. Waking up to find that neither your friends or family have any idea who you are. Being forced to speak in such a silly voice that hardly anyone can understand you and everyone laughs at you.
So that's like the Carrie option.
Yeah, so which, honestly, the creepy eye, that would do it.
Yeah, that's problematic for sure.
Dawn or dusk?
Easy,
Dawn.
straightforward. Dawn. I definitely picked dusk.
Black or white? Black. Wait, like, yeah, I don't know.
I think that's just like general. Like,
Oh, I'm like, because I look better in black than I do in white, so I guess I'll go with that.
I like the way you think.
Oh, thank God.
What did you get?
I didn't get Slytherin. That's all that matters, you guys.
Are you a Hufflepuff?
I'm not, actually.
What'd you get?
I got put into Gryffindor,
Hey, welcome!
which I am shocked about.
Yeah, hey,
Not gonna
look at
lie.
that.
I did kind of think I was gonna get. I don't know what I thought I was gonna get. I didn't think I was gonna get Gryffindor.
Well, who knows? And you know what? They're not like, this isn't one of those things where like everybody is in Gryffindor. I think it shows you the breakdown. It's actually pretty evenly spread across all of the houses. So like that means you belong in Gryffindor, Kristin.
Okay, well, good. Oh, you guys, seriously, the relief. I feel like I'm Harry right now. Man.
I'm so glad. I don't know if you all had your money on Gryffindor for Laddie, but her dreams have come true. We would love to know what house you get sorted into. So if you join Pottermore and take these quizzes, let us know. Tell us what your wand is. Tell us your owl's name. And
It's not going to be better than my Alice.
yeah, it's going to be really tough to beat Ethan. But you can try. You can go ahead and try. So that's your two hosts or two Gryffindors. Good
There
stuff,
you
you guys. That's about it for us today. Do come to the Fancave Fiction Club on Friday. Even if you haven't read the book, stop by because the author is going to join us to discuss it. Clinton Boomer, author of The Hole Behind Midnight. We hope to see you guys there on Google+. Check it out. I will link to it on the blog, and you can also just go to Goodreads and search Fancave Fiction Club, and you will find us. It should be a grand old time, so we look forward to seeing you there. Make sure that you subscribe to us on iTunes, Stitcher, Tumblr, everywhere that you can find us. We're around SoundCloud. And check out the blog on electricfeast.com. And if you like us, go ahead and rate and review us on anywhere that you subscribe to us because it helps people find us. And we enjoy it. We enjoy it. Getting to talk to more and more of you. So thank you so much for listening. Leave us comments and talk to us. We want to hear from you. I swear we don't bite. Thanks for the corrections and whatnot this week. And so until next time, have a great week, everybody. I'm Corrigan Vaughn.
And I'm Kristin Latterell.
Peace.
See you later.
Oh, I was like, yo, you didn't say anything. No, there it is. Yeah.
Was that good? That was lame.
See you later. That's a great catchphrase. What's
Catchphrases
Kristin's
are
catchphrase?
difficult.
It's see you later. Oh, it's hard.